Louie C. the mayor checking in. Listen, we're going big today. I mean, like a skyscraper. It's going to be big on the show today. The People's Commissioner, you had the People's Champ, Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble, which is the People's Commissioner. Like he said, we was off camera. He worked for y'all. He worked for the people. Eddie Martinez in the building. Thank you, Florida Keys Injury Lawyers. Accent Lawyers in the Keys. Go to FloridaKeysInjury.com. Locals taking care of locals. Today, for example, I was riding, headed to Big Copper. And there was a gentleman stopped in the left lane, US 1 North. So I thought that, the man truck stalled or something. So I got out. First thing I do is tell them, put your hazards on and get on the median because it's very dangerous. More accidents happen. And it was just a fender bender. But behind me, it was undercover DT. Came out in uniform and all, black car. So I said, okay, Sergeant came out. So he said he had it from there. So be careful out there, man, because it's so dangerous. I think we already had almost, close to 5 fatalities this year already on US 1. So be careful out there. If you after 911, call FloridaKeysInjury.com. Advanced Urgent Care Key West Marathon in Key Largo. You're the People's Commissioner. This is the People's Doctor. Dr. Burroughs now offering affordable health care. Keys Cares. Only $89. Listen, share the video. Share. Look, share. Boop, 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 boop. Share the video right now because we're going to have a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. It's going to be all love over here on the podcast. Who is Michael Knowles in the building? Hold on, Mike. That ain't red tater. See, if he was in Cali, this would be a problem. Look at this.
No, we got somebody rolling up.
See that? That's stuck on red tater, that ain't you out there. Boy, look, they stuck right there. That's incredible. I think we good. Yeah. We got a commissioner in the building, so we got to bring in that Secret Service. You good, Mike? What happened?
That's Commissioner Martinez on.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get him on the Facebook. No problem. It's all love. Also, Naughty Vapes, the #1 vape shop in Key West, right across the street from the fire department. Always taking care of locals and military. Huge inventory just came in for 2021. Like them on Facebook under Naughty, N-A-U-T-I Vapes. Let me see what we got going, Mike. Let me see what we got going here. All right, got you. All right, so we're going to, oh boy. We're going to make sure Eddie's good to go. So, Eddie, let me talk to you real quick before we get this thing started. Hey, do me a favor, please. If you're coming in, boop, 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 hit the share button so like that we could engage. A little intro for the people that don't know who you are, what you're all about. Can you please go ahead and give them a little intro about yourself there?
Absolutely. Well, my name's Eddie Martinez. I am your commissioner. I'm your Monroe County Commissioner. I serve the entire county, even though I was elected in District 3. But again, I work for the entire county. Any questions anybody has, 292-3430, that's my office. 530 Whitehead, that's the address. You can come see me at any time. I'm here for everybody at any time.
Absolutely.
I started working from day one like I promised, and I will continue to do that for everybody.
Put me back on Facebook there. So, okay. We don't never know what Mark's doing on Facebook, so we got to catch up there or whatever. I'm trying to get Big Eddie on a little watch party. So, question is, before we get started today, first of all, the title today, 222, podcast 222. We're going to take no days off. We're Monday to Friday. If it lands on Christmas, Valentine's Day, we out here trying to make it happen. So, Eddie, who is going to win the Super Bowl? What you thinking?
I'm thinking Tom Brady is going to show everybody that the old men still got it, man.
Yeah,
he's the GOAT. I gotta say, as a Dolphin, boy, I hated him as a Patriot, but now he's for the Bucks. It is what it is. He's the best there is.
I picked Buffalo. Buffalo could not do it. They didn't make it happen, but I like Tampa Bay. So, Eddie, go back here real quick.
And Tampa Bay at home. Let me just tell you. You want me just to get off it and then get back on?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay at home. That's historic.
Yeah, what I mean? That is. So, bottom line, Tampa Bay, roll call, who you guys caught. Let me see what we got over here. We got 8 fatalities, somebody said. Wow. William, Louie, what's up? Hey, William, how you doing? Annie, what's going on? Let me see. Since 12/29, we had 8. Okay. Can't see you, Louie. Okay. Eddie's in the building. Serena. Okay, I think we're good now.
Yep.
So, Eddie, let me see. Oh, most importantly, how's your mom doing?
Well, it's my mom's fine. My aunt is the one that she's having.
The aunt, okay.
She's just like my mother. So yeah, she's having a little bit of health issues. But at 89, I mean, it's kind of expected, I guess. We're lucky enough to get to 89.
Well, only me and you could wish to make it to
Yeah.
89. So, but we're gonna make it happen today. So, rumor on the street has it, streets very rarely do they lie, that you was breaking bread with Governor DeSantis. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. The governor came over and gave us just over $16 million for our projects.
Wow.
Basically for the flood projects. It's a little bit of money in the bank there that we can use to, help the people with less taxes. That's the idea. At the end of the day, we gotta put those streets where they should be, at the elevation that they should be, where the flooding, the flooding problem is not that big of a problem. It'll always be a problem in Monroe County, but lessen it and lessen that hit to the people's pocket.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, Eddie. So what I did with you here now, I think we finally got you squared away. So I'm just gonna put your own Facebook on, so like that you can see your own people in this. Because I can't get you on the watch party right now, so we'll just see. So the governor, you said everything was very kosher with him.
Yeah, the governor's he's a good guy. He's a hard worker. He's there, working for the people. It seems like if his schedule never stops.
Yeah.
He's going on and on and on and on, nonstop. So is our lieutenant governor. She is fantastic. She's super bright. I mean, we're lucky to have the team that we have in Florida.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so shout out to the governor. In case you don't know, in my opinion, if the governor didn't flex his muscle down here, we probably would have still been shut down out here in the Keys. And that's what you got to do. You have to vote, because it could have been easily somebody else there at the helm, and we would have been it would have been a huge problem there going on if somebody else would have been at the helm. So thank God that he balanced everything out. And then what exactly in that money, can you just give us a breakdown exactly of what that money is for and what it's going to do, and take your time real quick?
Sure. Well, more or less the money that he's giving us is for the elevation projects that we have of road elevations. So the county-wide cost is somewhere near $1.8 billion for the entire county. He came and dropped off $16 million and change to help us with the projects. Sands in Big Pine, I was told today by our county administrator, who does a great job too, that we're using that money for that project and other projects, but basically it's for the road elevation projects. And every bit of money that we can get from federal monies or the state is less money coming out of the pocket of the people of Monroe County. And areas like the Big Pine area and Key Largo and the rest of the county, we need it. We definitely need to have, all these funds allocated to us. We need to find a way to get them. We have a good state rep who's trying hard to get us an extra penny up there in Tallahassee. We should know by April or May if that works out. And if not, we have other, things in our back pocket that we're trying, just to make it an easier burden to pay, instead of making it a special assessment that people got to drop, thousands out of their pocket.
Stand by, Michael Knowles. Who we got going on there, Mike?
We got
regular Facebook again.
Let's see who we got here.
Because I can't get you on the watch.
We got Aaron Skinner.
Oh, Aaron, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Janet Delgado.
Got it.
You got Serena Jardines. Or Orion Thurston.
OT of Minnesota, checking in.
Jacqueline Hagan. Kyla Everett.
Got you.
And we got Johnny and Latrice Taylor.
Okay, so listen, we really going to go into overdrive right now. Thank you for the love. Commissioner Martinez, the People's Commissioner, in the building. We talking about some big stuff today. But the commissioner, a lot of y'all don't know this. And listen, I need y'all to share right now. I need everybody to share. Boop, boop, boop. Notification, hit the button right here. Boop. And on YouTube, those of y'all watching worldwide, make sure you hit the subscribe button. So a lot of y'all don't know this. So this is a fascinating story you're about to hear right here with Commissioner Martinez. All love right now in the building. So when you was on the campaign trail, you almost didn't make it to see another day. So I want you to tell me exactly what happened, as me and you was talking the other day, and the people, what you had to go through. And, a lot of people learn about, what you have to do when you're in a situation like you were, because sometimes in the hands of a wrong doctor, you won't make it out of the bed. So can you elaborate and kind of tell the people how, you went through that trial and tribulation?
Well, that's exactly what happened. I got in the hands of the wrong doctor that, I guess tried the easy way out of a procedure with me. It was just a simple gallbladder. Should have been an in and out process. And it turned into 7 surgeries in my abdomen. On one of the surgeries, I think number 5, I actually went on the other side of this world. I coded, and Mariners brought me back. And that's part of the issue, that I've got going on with Heather, that I wasn't here the whole time. No, I wasn't here the whole time because I was in the hospital busy trying to stay alive.
Right.
But like I said, I actually, at Mariners, I coded, they brought me back, that team there at Baptist, and Dr. Ruiz, which is the one that saved me and brought me back. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them and Baptist. I think they do a great job. Hell, being in the medical profession alone today seems to be something that, these guys do it because it's not really for the money. You might think a doctor has a lot, but those guys work, 80, 90 hours a week. I don't even know how that
right.
Dr. Ruiz, had enough time to even see me. They're just working all day, all night. And in that condition is how I did the campaign trail. Right. And basically, if it wasn't for my wife and her hard work, I wouldn't be here anyway, because without her, I don't think I'd have the capacity to even eat. Right. She's my everything. Yeah. And she's the one that did all the hard work out there.
What I learned is behind every good man is a good woman.
Or a better one, I'll tell you that.
Let me ask, so you go, I'm trying to break this down. So you go in for a gallbladder operation.
Yep.
Where did you go, Miami?
I was in Miami.
In Miami.
Yep.
Okay, so then when you go in, the procedure doesn't go well.
And then I'm dumb enough to go back to the same doctor because I didn't know.
Okay, so you left the hospital and then you started feeling bad.
They sent me home.
Right.
And he basically sent me home with just standard antibiotics, which I think was amoxicillin. And within 6 days, I felt bad and I went back to him, and then he told me, well, now it's not your gallbladder, now it's your appendix. And they put me in for a scan, and luckily I was close enough to the nurse's station to hear the nurse call him and say, this has nothing to do with an appendix. This man, he's septic. He's got, sacs, I guess, of infection everywhere in his abdomen.
Right.
And then they went and they put a drain in, and when he put the drain in, he perforated my duodenum, nicked the bile duct, and went through an intestine. And we didn't know that.
Right.
And so nobody knew that because they sent me home with an IV antibiotic.
For the second time.
For the second time.
Right.
So when that comes out, after the IV antibiotic comes out, about 10 days later, I go back to him. He puts me back on the IV antibiotics. And then at that point, I'm kind of fed up with, his treatment. And I was actually, they had taken out the IV again. I was in the Key Largo area where I felt that pain. And I told my wife, I go, I know what this is. Let's just stop at Mariners right now. And I'll never forget that Dr. Ruiz told me, as I walked in, he told me, he goes, I think you've got about 10 minutes to live. And I was like, what do you mean I got 10 minutes to live? We're talking, like you and me are talking right now. How could I?
Yeah.
He goes, I'm looking at your blood work. And, for the people who work in the medical community, they'll know what this means because I sure as hell didn't. He says, your white blood cell count is at 97,000. He's like, I've never seen anyone walk in this door like that. And I sure as hell have never heard anybody talk when they're that bad. So I'm thinking you've got about 10 minutes. And they even told my wife, go say goodbye to him because I don't think he's going to make it out of here. And when he took me back in for surgery, well, I crashed once on the table. They brought me back. I was a horrible patient. I ripped out my breathing tube twice. I remember, through the fog of the medication, my wife coming to see me. I don't remember seeing her, but I remember hearing her voice. And I told her, don't worry, I'm here, I'm good. And the whole time they were telling her, he's not good. He's got to get transported because Mariners could not sustain me. They didn't have the high-tech nurses to keep me alive there. And they sent me via ambulance to South Miami. Oh, yeah. And I do remember the ambulance ride. I remember the paramedic constantly, smacking me on the face saying, stay awake, I don't want you to go to sleep. And from there, it was, I think that first time after what I call the big surgery, because, you've seen the cut from here to under my navel.
Right.
it was like 35 days, I think it was, in South Miami Hospital the first time
Right.
for that surgery. And the second time, it was just about 30 days also.
So this is a fascinating story. I'm glad you're here to talk to me. Period. I mean, that's why you can't take things too serious, because here today, gone tomorrow.
That's right.
So that whole time, that this man's family, especially his wife, was out there campaigning for you because you're almost dying. There's impossible to campaign or whatever.
Yep.
So here we are. God is good, and you won the seat there. Thank God, in my opinion. I love that you won. I voted for you, and at this point, anybody who has any type of negativity going on anything in the world, I keep saying the count was 300 and some thousand, but I've learned the count is 400,000 people have died in the United States with COVID. You got to really leave that alone and basically rethink this. So I am glad to report that after New Year's, everything looks like it's going into a positive space. But we're always gonna have something going on. But you have to be able to talk to people. Like Eddie, for example, they want to reach out to you, because let's explain to people that you represent part of your district is Duval Street.
Yep.
and the county.
Yes.
Right. So anybody got any issues, especially service industry people, this is the man to talk to. So how do they reach you, Eddie?
So 292-3430, that's the number for my office. My office is right up the street from yours, 530 Whitehead.
Right.
They can call, they can come by and visit me. When they see me out on the street, you can call me. My cell phone number is a 786-325-4668. Feel free to call me at any time. I work for you guys. I'm here for everybody. The business industry knows I've been a business person, so I understand my district is what they have historically called the Lower Duval area, but it's the entire county. I'm here for everybody.
It's a long stretch. Shout out to everybody, Big Coppet, Sugarloaf, Big Pine, Marathon, Florida, Key Largo, all the way to Ocean Reef. All love. That's a lot of territory. So I want y'all to understand what the man said. He said he works for the people. Not only does he work, them other people sitting on the diocese work for the people.
Yes.
If somebody ain't doing what the people's wishes are, the only way to deal with that is to vote against them and get somebody else that will listen. Okay. Number two, we say this all the time. This stuff about parties and Republican, Democrat, and Independent, I'm through with this stuff. I'll be honest with you, because if I'm sitting for an interview with a person across the table like me, Eddie, I never seen an application that says which party are you, Republican? I never seen nobody put that on. So you base on qualifications of that person. Can he do a good job for the company? So I don't understand what the difference is with politicians. They either could do the job that you think they need to be doing, or they can't. Who cares what party they are? Because at the end of the day, if they're doing the job that you like or whatever, then you should vote for that person, in my opinion. I think this is outdated. I think that a lot of stuff is outdated from early on, and I think that the best person for the job should be voted for, and just like a business should be hired.
Absolutely. I think you should always vote for the best person. Now, there being parties, obviously, I think the reason why I affiliated with the Republican Party, because I think that they govern better. That's my personal feeling. But at the end of the day, I will vote for the most qualified person. Right. The best person for the job.
And I always say this, and I'm just going to break it down very short. I didn't know we was going to get into the part. There's two different parties, the main party, Republican and Democrat, right? So this is crazy, but it's comparable to a blood gang and a Crip gang, right?
Yeah.
When the blood comes out, like today, the Bloods came out with the greatest idea for this area that they run and for the whole neighborhood. Unfortunately, no matter how good idea is, I doubted that the Crip gang is going to basically be on the same page.
Right.
So correct me if I'm wrong. If you're governing from the top, your job is to try to get those people together for the common good of the people.
That's right.
You see? So that's a very hard job. But just going down one lane because I'm a blood or I'm a Republican and all that, that's just not going to get it done. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
So if Eddie Martinez, I don't care what party he's at. Matter of fact, I didn't even know what party he's on, right? If you tell me off the top of my head, because I was so focused on the man himself, I don't care. That party stuff is different, because nobody's better than anybody else. Right? No. You put your pants on one leg at a time, like me, or whatever. So let's try to look at things differently, and let's just think yourself of if you're at a job and you're trying to hire a person. You always hire the best person. Are you going to really hire somebody because they're one party compared to the other one? I mean, some people might, but you shouldn't.
It's, not the way to do it. You want the person who's going to perform their duties the best possible, for your firm, which for us, for the people.
Yeah. Who you got on your side over there, Eddie? Just you could go up and down the scale right here.
Let's see. We got Bill Fratelli. We got Pete, Annie Holtz. We got Karen. Hi, Karen. Daniel Acevedo. Red Tater is on watching.
Red Tater, my man. Serious protocol. Slick Vic. JJ Romero is in the building. Serena over there from Fogarty's doing big. Look, this is your commissioner. You always out there. This young lady works at Fogarty's. She's a hostess. She'll be there. This is the man you need to talk to. Who is Michael Knowles? And do me a favor right here. Boop, boop, boop. Hit the share button. Everybody just came in. We're talking about how this gentleman fought for his life doing the campaign trail to be your county commissioner. Go ahead, Mike Knowles.
We got Rudy Gee. We got Andrew Pink Day.
Andrew Pink Day is my official head of security. You know what the S1Ws are?
Yeah.
Security of the First World, like Public Enemy, the rap group. They had their own security team, and we're going to have to put a security team on my man Eddie. I bet you the governor had a little security detail when he came down here.
He walks in with FDLE, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you're going to try to come after me for security, know that I'm a firearms instructor, and I have been since I was 18.
So, and I want to get my certification.
That's right. We talked about it last time.
So you still do that?
Absolutely.
And is it a name of a business or just you personally?
That's just me personally.
So what does it take to get certified?
Well, you got to pass the background check.
Right.
One,
obviously.
in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the laws in the state of Florida. And I personally, some people, if you go to a gun show, they'll make you shoot a BB gun. I'll put all sorts of calibers in front of you to let you see what you're comfortable with, because when I let people out into the world that I have helped get licensed, I want them to be as comfortable as they can be with whichever firearm that they choose.
Mike Knowles, we're packing.
Okay, we got Pete Othman.
DJ DOS out of New York City.
And he says, salute.
Yep, that's my man. DOS is big out there in New York City.
And we got Barry Gibson.
Barry Gibson. I seen Barry in the office the other day, a fellow commissioner. Barry, my man.
Butch Baker.
Mr. Butch.
Then we got Scott King.
Scott King, regular to the program, all love.
David Blanderman.
Okay.
Nicholas Mina. Who is this Gemini Thao? That's weird. I hope I'm pronouncing the guy's name right. Gemini Thao.
Okay.
We have you got Vic for here. You got Alan Nelson.
Okay.
Ruth Ann Vester.
Ruth, regular to the program.
And Luis Gonzalez.
Mayor Gonzalez. Do you know Mayor Gonzalez?
No.
Okay, so Mayor Gonzalez is the mayor for Marathon. You know, Marathon, they have the rotation. One day you're going to be the mayor when your rotation come up.
Eventually.
Yep. So Mayor Gonzalez, I need you to connect with Commissioner Martinez, because you guys need to know each other, so I'll make it happen. And Louie Gonzalez, his brother's Willie Gonzalez, they own landscaping out there in Marathon. He's a Key West conch, and then he moved to Marathon. And then he got on the commission, and Marathon has their own city leadership. So he's a mayor of Marathon and a good man, and we got good relationships between Key West and Marathon. You know how that started, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we have wars with Marathon on sports. So I intervened and I said, well, I understand that we're trying to, kill each other kind of when we play, but at the end of the day, we're a county, so we should be working to basically go toe-to-toe, blow-to-blow against each other for us to capture a state championship, you in Marathon and us in Key West. Right. So when we have something internal which could come up, instead of going out of the county in the city, we have to work internally to solve the issue. So me and him work on when we have a conflict with a sports on something, internally we have it. Like, for example, long story short, one time we had a situation that a Marathon coach came to Key West, and Key West bragged how they were going to whoop Marathon in football, and Marathon had an upset. Unfortunately, the coach for Marathon decided that he was going to light the Key West Citizen on fire in the middle of the emblem of the conchs. So I told their AD, I said, listen, I'm very calm and all, but I'll be honest with you, lucky me and my partner, Louie Blanco, was at the game, because without any hesitation, at that particular moment, this man went into the streets. So at that time, he most likely would have got punched in the mouth, and then we would have sorted it out. But there's just no way to deal with that. So then, long story short, we decided that we wasn't going to play marathon the next year. And I said, I have to disagree. We're not playing marathon. I said the UM and Florida State, sometimes they have 50 people go at each other, but they still going to play. So how can we not have a game with the biggest gate? And this was when everything was horrific, in the country, with everything with the stock market and the housing crisis. I said, we can't afford not to have this, the biggest gate. They said, we're not going to play. I said, me and the friends of the program, we're going to figure out how we play. Long story short, we had to push it all the way to the superintendent level. And superintendent put a mandate that said every sport, not only football, because of the financial crunch, will play each other. You know who the superintendent was? Randy Acevedo.
Acevedo, okay.
Yep, and we played in marathon. Do you know what the attendance was that day?
I can't tell.
2,200. Not 200, 2,200. We talk about we're not going to play.
Bleachers, yeah.
We're not going to be able to play. We ain't had one argument. It happened, we kept it. So that's what we got to do. We can't just take a stand there. Things happen or whatever in the spirit of the moment. Should the coach done that? Absolutely not. No. And I'm glad the man, to be honest with you, I didn't want to see nobody lose their job. He didn't lose their job. Good. And he kept it trucking or whatever. So what we say is Key West on one side, Marathon on the other side. We'll talk after the game. But at the end of the day, we need to basically elevate our game so we could go against Miami and the heavy hitters down there.
That's right.
So
when you're talking Northwestern and all those big guys up there.
And shout out to the Key West High School who did play Northwestern this year. I don't know if you know. And we put toe-to-toe with them. I think we only lost by 10. That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, you're talking about the constant state champs. You know what I mean?
National. Yeah. Let me see Friday is big. Listen, Friday we're going all the way in. Before I go into that, boop, 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 hit the share button right over here. And let's get some more people to engage. So Dr. Burrows, we're going to talk about here in a minute. This man is really going national now. There's a lady named Patty Giuliano, that is going to come into the program this Friday. He's going to be on the program, flying all the way from Cali to talk about how we could help down here in the Keys. And this young lady, for example, she deals with such crisis. The other day when we was on the live, she said 10 people had passed that day in her hospital on a day.
One day.
In one day. So now we're going to talk about the realities of what's really going on in the nation and the reality of what we got going here, fact over fiction. Because I'll be honest with you, Commissioner, I believe I keep saying it, we're the safest place to be in the nation during a pandemic. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, numbers are numbers. I mean, if you look at what the death rate is, we're a pretty damn safe place here to be. We're doing something right. And thanks to, people like Dr. Burrows, with his protocol, I'm proof. Me, my wife, and one of my daughters, we all were positive with COVID. We followed Dr. Burrows' protocol. I mean, he took care of me and my family, and within 48 hours, I was back on my feet.
So you went on the ivermectin protocol?
Absolutely.
Okay, I got one here for you. You want to take that one? Can you see that one? Annie Holtz?
One thing that confuses me with all the money in Key West and the entire Keys is why the medical care situation is so weak, dire, that everyone goes to the mainland. Well,
that's a good question.
That's a hell of a good question, and I wish I could answer it properly, but not being a physician, I don't think I can. What I can tell you is that we do have very good physicians here. We're lucky enough to have Dr. Burrows and his team that he's got, and there's a lot of other good guys out there, that they will refer to. If we had more room, maybe we'd have a bigger hospital, like a Baptist down here, but at the end of the day, the real estate here is very expensive, and living here is expensive.
Which I guess we could skip to this as you brought this up now. Affordable housing. So right now, I'm going to try to make it a point because I think it's very rough for somebody to have to work 3 jobs in order to eat a meal.
Absolutely.
So anybody that knows about any affordable housing, because we say affordable, but let's be clear, there's really not affordable housing in the Keys. They're right this second, there's really not, because what's affordable is extremely expensive. So there are a couple places, but very far few in between. So on the roll call right now, if you know anywhere affordable housing for anybody throughout the Keys, please put it on the live. And if you love what Commissioner Martinez is saying, and you love the podcast, and you're down with Louie C. the Mayor, and who is Michael Knowles, put them hearts all the way up, throw them hearts all the way up right now, just like Fat Joe, all the way up. So, Commissioner, we've been talking about affordable housing since before we was born, and we still haven't had a solution. When are we going to fix this?
Well, I think that, the building situation here, when we started with the idea of the height restriction, the idea was probably good. It was a noble intention, but now we gotta kind of come up a little bit. With this whole FEMA coming through again this year, we're changing the datum, which means it's going to cost everybody about 2 feet from the floor up.
Right.
In other words, you got to figure that your floor value, if it was a 10, will now be an 850, and that's going to cost everybody a lot of money when it comes to flood insurance. For a long time, we had that 35-foot rule. It's kind of been going to the wayside, but I think we need to add a floor or two, and no way.
So right now, let me just, in layman terms, so you can't build past 35 feet.
Well, that was the idea. There have been exceptions for a while. We've been kind of going around it, but I think we need to get a little higher, especially when it comes to the supposed affordable housing. How do you make a building affordable? Well, the higher you go, the less it really takes effort-wise, because the foundation, once you put a foundation in that can carry a load of, say, 6 stories, you already know you can go that high. And we're talking pennies on the dollar to change something from 3 stories to 6.
And what's the only reason that, what was behind that as far as the height restriction? Why? Because people say that should be an easy change. So why is there height restriction? Just give it to them.
Historically, it was because of the view. People wanted to maintain their view. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
there's a lot of views you could go to. Now you're not talking about doing like New York with 42.
No, we're not talking about 100 stories. We're not talking about 30 stories. No, we're not even talking about 10 stories.
Right.
We're talking about adding a floor to every project that we're doing that has the with the affordable or workforce housing.
Would you say that the most going up 4 or?
4 or 5. I don't see. Listen, the Navy building has 6.
Yeah.
So
I think that's about it.
I think we already have a standard
and
set.
And the La Concha is what?
About what?
I think
4, 6.
Yeah, I think they're 6.
I think they're about 6.
So we kind of have a standard set already when it comes to height.
Yeah.
I think adding a floor or 2 will definitely help the affordable crisis, because it's a crisis.
Do you know what the price tag was on Bernstein Park? Because
I do not. I
don't know what it was. $8 million.
Okay,
which was very well spent. Anything for kids. If they spend $80 million, I'm not going to complain. Anything for kids, right?
No.
Across the street, they have a property that was built about 15 years ago, Meridian West. Do you know in Hurricane Irma that one car flooded there?
Not one car?
Not one car flooded. Because it was built high.
Yep.
When you turn over on Strip Road, in that corner, and this is probably something we should address, it's very bad just in that corner as far as flooding there. There's got to be a drainage problem or something there, right? However, as you move down Strip Road, they paved the whole road, and in that complex there, they wanted to go 3 stories. They was only given 2. You know how many apartments over there? 102. So 1 story, anything helps. You
about
see
30, about
4 would have really been, but come on now. I think it's like 2.5. They just wanted to go a little bit more. So there's got to be a way to change. And here's the $1 million question: how and who changes it?
Well, I mean, countywide, the commission could vote to
It's not a state thing, right?
No, it's not really a state thing.
Okay.
Every city has their charge. So Marathon can put in their own height restriction. Key West can put in their own height restriction. The county can put in their own height restriction. But at the end of the day, common sense has to prevail.
So are you telling me that, let's say somebody could write a motion that they want to go up on a higher, restriction for projects, and it's as simple as people voting on it, or is it a bit more complicated?
Or if it's not allowed because, let's say that the building officials have their laws that they have to work with.
Right.
So if it's on the books, it's not like if they can just swipe a magic wand and say, well, we're going to let you do 6. It might have to come in front of the commission. But if the commission already says, you preempt it and say, we're going to allow up to 6 stories when the tag of affordable or workforce housing is added.
Right.
And, and our building officials know that, this percentage is allocated to workforce and affordable housing. The more higher you go, maybe the more percentage-wise you have to add.
And I also would like to say that if you ever have this in front of you, that you need to put some teeth on it, because you can't just leave it gray and say it's affordable, because it might be affordable to somebody, it might not be affordable to somebody.
Yeah.
So if you have a formula that says whatever percentage of whatever the market is, then we know what a 1-bedroom affordable 2 and 3. So I don't know how it's done, but you say you can't go over this amount unless with the as we go through the future, then inflation or stuff like that. But it's got to be more regulated, so that an apartment in 1-bedroom is not going to go over this number, because now they say it's affordable, but it's really $2,300 affordable for a
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? 1,000 is affordable, not $2,300.
Yeah, no, $2,300 I don't think is affordable. But there's a formula. The county is working on it, trying to make it so that there's a lot of caveats that they put, whether you make 70% of your income in Monroe County or not. But all I can tell you is that when it boils down to that, if a deputy sheriff and a nurse with the combined income, and they're having trouble to make that affordable, quote unquote, payment, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because those are 2 professions there that are something that we need, that we're happy to have, and if those guys having problems making that affordable payment, it's just not affordable.
Mike Knowles, real brief. We went over this the other day, but I think this affordable is really on top of the list. Tell me the application process that you talked about the other day. Refresh my memory on what you said that make it hard for people. Did you say it was because of a felon, or what exactly?
Yeah, number 1 is your background check. Background check gonna knock you right out. Believe it or not. And believe it or not, it's actually in Monroe County housing. I mean, housing. You can't get housing if you're a felon.
No matter how long it was?
No matter how long
And
it
even
was.
if, for me, if you did your time and you paid your price.
So you mean to tell me, like, if you had a felon in your record 15 years ago, you don't qualify? You telling me?
I mean, from ones they not they looking at that, and chances are you might not even get a place. Number 2 is going to be your credit. Your credit gonna knock you out the ball game automatically, and that's everywhere. So I mean,
and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm just going from I don't know this factual, but if you're in affordable housing, you probably are not going to have an 850.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to qualify for the $1 million loan.
So this thing is just not. I mean, it's just not practical with the streets. So we'll look at this. I mean, I guess you could get more answers next time you come on the program. You let us know. All love right now. Mike Knowles, let me know who you got, and then we'll see if Eddie got anybody on his side, and we'll go from there.
From Annie, we added Frank, who's also a fellow professional surveyor.
Oh, okay. Hey, Frank.
And Gina Sellers. Hi, Gina. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for the love. Do me a favor. If you're coming in right now with Commissioner Martinez, all love, the People's Commissioner, hit the share button right over here. Boop, boop, boop. Go ahead, Mike Knowles.
Andy Holt said Patty is awesome.
Yeah.
Andy Holt said true that. And then what goes on here, let's see. We have Denise Herbig Lorenz.
Okay.
We got Chichi Botella, Dr. Richard Guzman.
Guzman in the building.
Got Christina and Dan Coolidge.
Oh, hey, thank you
and
for
then
watching.
We have one that popped up is Steve Plum.
Okay, thank you, Mike. You're on top of the game. And Commissioner, how is your fellow Commissioner, Mr. Cates, doing?
Well, he attended the last meeting via Zoom. He's looking good. We're so happy to have him back. I mean, especially me. Craig to me is a mentor. He's just a hell of a guy. We're lucky to have him here in the Keys as a commissioner. And
God bless the Cates family.
Yep.
One person alone is too many. We've lost, I believe, the count for Monroe County is 39. 1, 2, 3 is too many. But I'll say this again. Compared to the nation, Key West, Florida, and the Florida Keys is the safest place to be during a pandemic, and that goes to everybody that helped out. And facts are facts. I mean, I understand that some people don't want anybody visiting, we can't survive down here. We're talking about affordable housing. There's no affordable. People have to work 3 jobs. How do you survive down here? So some people did not lose a check. They got extra money for sure with the stimulus. Some people in the city and county got overtime, time and a half. So they made more money than they made last year. Unlike the service industry that basically can't afford to have a BLT.
Yeah.
So these are the facts. So we have to work with people. I'm happy to see people work overtime. Like right now, we got a good enforcement on Duval Street. Those people make overtime. That's great. Or they sign up for a detail. But don't just cut the legs out of the other people that are trying to work. They ain't bothering nobody or whatever. So we got to get back to working together. And I guess the word is don't be selfish, because just because it's not affecting you, you should always be happy you're your fellow person here in the Keys that's doing well and has a chance to make a living. You shouldn't just say, okay, well, my solution is we just shut US 1 down. How about the other people that need to have some people come down?
The service industry is, it's definitely a backbone of most definitely my district, but of the Keys.
Gotcha.
We are an entertainment based economy, and when tourists come down and spend their good money here, during New Year's, there's a lot of $100 tips that could have been taken on by people who desperately needed that, and we kind of disallowed it. I mean, we're all very happy that we have the Key West PD that we have and the officers that we have.
Sean Brandenburg, Rick Ramsey, #1 sheriff.
They work super hard. They're great people, to work for us. I mean, we're lucky. We're very lucky to have what we have down here.
And I like to give a shout out to code enforcement, and I like to give a shout out to everybody that works for the city. It's a very hard job, very trying times to be in office. They got a job to do. I got my job to do. You got to feed your family. I got to feed my family. So we have to work together. Here's the thing. If you didn't learn it at Key West High School, it's very simple. Agree to disagree. Me and him have a conversation. We're not hollering, see who could holler the most or whatever. We might not agree on something, but at least we respect each other and go from there. And then a job, like he said, for a commissioner and let's say a mayor, is to listen to all the people. We can't just say, okay, well, I'm good with my people in Stock Island, and then we don't go and listen to the people in Big Coppin.
Right.
You got to, you listen to everybody, then you form an opinion. And now, like for example, I'll give you one that's a little bit, it's a catch-22. Did you hear about the new thing that came out with the lifting of the cruise ship ban? Have you been following that?
No, I have not.
Okay, so there's something in the House of Representatives that they put a bill together to basically not have cities govern the cruise ship industry. So it's going to go up for vote. However, let's keep it blunt raw. The people did speak, and they basically said, the majority didn't want cruise ships. I'll be honest with you. My opinion is I don't care if you ban cruise ships for the rest of the time ever on Earth. I just want you to give me something in return that if we lose cruise ships, that we can have some daytime business. So far, not one person has been able to tell me what exactly am I going to get in return, because you already have the people that is coming to the Keys, right? Those people are coming. They're not going to, they increase, but they're not, that daytime help on that boost is critical for your district or whatever. So look into that, if you don't mind, and see what's going on with it, because it's very interesting there. I got it on my Facebook page. You'll read about it.
Was it the U.S. House or we're talking the Florida?
I don't want to speak not knowing, but I know there's definitely something very serious going from there. So like I said, we got to work together. There she goes. Look who popped up. This young lady, Monica Woolberry. She was supposed to be here. Monica, go ahead while the commissioner's here and tell me exactly what your issue is in Stock Island, something about exactly what you was talking about with FEMA, because she's actually in one of the places that's affordable. And, she has a decent number there, but there's some stuff there that they came in that they cracking down on, and I said, I don't know the answer, and Eddie will get the information. If he don't know it, he'll find out what's going on. Javon Green, when he fighting again, Mike?
He got another fight coming up, but the last fight he had was Saturday, and it was that fight there. Them guys there was raising money for the power.
So he fought already?
Yeah.
How did he do?
They did great from my understanding. So he got another one coming up, but like I say, he'll be on the show Wednesday. So
Wednesday we'll talk to Javon. Thank you, anybody. And this is for the POW League, which is a wonderful organization. We got the POW now, right? You know where we at now? The POW has actually switched over to the new City Hall in the old gymnasium of the school. So they made a new building over there. Looks great compared to where we was, because the old POW needed a lot of work. So I'm glad. Anything for kids. That's another thing that we keep talking about. We don't have a lot of stuff to do for kids.
Investment in our future, that's what it is.
Yeah. Like, I'll be honest with you, I talk with my team all the time. How do you make something work, kind of like a mini Dave and Buster's, that could make it business wise? Because I think it's desperately needed. I don't know if you could put it in town and still make it, or does it have to go downtown so you get some tourist people? Because, for example, the bowling alley, we only could go on the base and bowl. A couple lanes, I guarantee you'd be good. Yep. And you have to have the component of food and drink with it, because it's a business. But you could have, the kind of like the Arcade Kings, Dave and Buster's. I mean, where do you take a kid? Let's be clear. Where do you take a kid today in Key West to do something?
You take them fishing, take them to the park. That's pretty much it.
Well, Commissioner, you know what? Back in the day, we had, I ain't gonna lie to you, we had fairgrounds. Yeah. Right where the ball field was, where Pontiac, that used to be a fairground. You had a fairground with parakeets. You don't see that no more.
Magic carpet golf.
Yeah, magic carpet golf.
The skating rink.
And then when that went down, there you go. Then when that went downhill, then you always had sports for, like school sports, and they were filled in. Yep. You even had some cats out there that were chasing chickens, and they made the football team. So what can I say? Even the poor.
Rocky Balboa.
What can I say now? They wonder why the kids getting in trouble, why they doing this and doing that. Well, guess what? If you're home and trouble's easy to find. Trouble's very easy to find. Yeah. Now, what I do like is what the county have done is that Bernstein Park. I'm glad it was a community center.
Yep. Yes.
So that was one good thing.
Yep.
So
absolutely. And if you have any ideas, thank you all for coming in. Hit the share button right here. Boop boop. And share the video notifications right over here, boop, and on the YouTube right over here, boop. I joke around. I'll play around with no children and kids about topics like this. This is very serious, and I think we really need to address this. I can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head. When Commissioner Giannis was on the city, we have some money that came in for something that was earmarked for the city, and I told him you should make a motion to have that money dedicated strictly to things for kids that come in. It only could be spent for things and projects for kids or whatever, because at the end of the day, it's not like when me and you grew up, we go and spend hours playing stickball, go play basketball or whatever. Now kids want to be on the computer. Like when I go out with my daughter, I don't bring, sometimes if I can, I don't even bring the phone inside the restaurant, so there's no temptation of using the phone. But we got to do something for children, and we got to, you can't even buy, be honest with you, can't buy a pair of Adidas in Key West. We don't even have a sporting goods where you could buy a baseball.
You got to think that we're the generation that used to drink straight out of the hose.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you do that now, and it's probably child abuse.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what we did, and it's what Mike says. There was a lot of sports back then. There was football, basketball, baseball. You used to be able to do all the sports back to back, and the seasons were always put that way to keep the kids, working.
How many people play on a baseball team?
Man, you had a whole crew just about Key West building.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how many people played 9. Played in the game, right? So I'm gonna tell you how we did it with 2. We go to HOB. This is true story now. We play the whole day till the sun comes down, and happy as pie. We go over there with a basketball court. There's a little door that raises up to the shed where they back. Whoa, we're going on. Came in on the live, snuck in on the live. You can't answer no calls on the live. So what that happened was, in back of that door. There were, I think it's for the shop room, we make a square box, right? So that's your strike zone, right? So then we tape it off where you pitch from, and we play a whole 9 innings. And I'm gonna tell you how we play. So we pitch it, we keep count, ball 1, strike 1, right? So you hit the ball back to me, I catch it without dropping. That's an out. Boom, we switch over, bottom of the first or whatever. You hit the ball against the fence. That's a triple. However, if you hit the ball and you're able to catch it on one bounce, that's an out. We play with 2 people. We take 9 people. We play that all day. We could, and then sometimes we had 3 people. And instead of going from 1 out, we play 3. Right. So my point is, that was the best times of my life. How did y'all do it out there when you was from?
To us, it was football primarily, and it was the same thing. Sun up to sundown. Back in my day, there weren't enough schools, and they were building schools to try to catch up with the capacity. So we actually had dual days in junior high, so that'll put you. Wow. You know what I mean? We're not middle school, junior high. And we used to get out at 11:45. If you wanted lunch, then you stayed out after 11:45.
Really?
So, yeah, so we were out at noon, you know, and we were playing football, burning ourselves. And
straight tackle.
On the street, on the asphalt. I mean, that's how we played. Yeah. And it was
School
fantastic.
of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. And that's, you know, every grandmother used to call every house to find out where the kids were in the block. You know, that's not, there were no cell phones back then.
Not even beepers.
No. Beepers came out.
Like when I coached, the coaches said, "Man, you rough." I said, they want to run out there when the kid hit the floor. I said, "Man, let them rub some dirt on that for a minute, and then chill. Don't be running every time a kid hit the floor, whatever, baby kids or whatever."
Let them
I don't believe in participation trophies. I really don't. You either win the championship or you don't. I can see a runner-up trophy participation. No, you got to earn it. That's my opinion. But all love for kids always. And I understand that you had to put kind of people's feet to the fire the other day at the county commission meeting because you had to get to the meats and potatoes of the ivermectin with Dr. Burrows. What happened there at the commission meeting?
Well, I mean, I think we need to look into it with, you know, scientifically and say why why we're not, you know, because like the governor said, Florida is fantastic giving out these vaccines. We can keep up with anybody. We outpace what we're getting.
Right.
So if we have idle time, why aren't we looking into something like Dr. Burrows' protocol that he's using as a prophylactic? I mean, it's kept him, when you talk about a frontline worker, Dr. Burrows is the definition of a frontline worker.
Right.
And whatever he's doing that has kept him COVID-free, we need to scientifically look at that.
At least discuss it.
You know, well, I mean, the scientists and the physicians that we have on staff, they need to look into it and see what he's doing that is so special that's keeping him and his staff, you know, COVID-free. It's working. What he did for me and my family, it worked. You know, I'm not a physician. I can't tell you what it was scientifically, but I can tell you, as a person who did the protocol, it works. At least for me and my family, it worked.
Right. Well, I'm glad that you at least, you know, have the courage to stand up there and you know, put people's feet to the fire and see if we could, you know, make it happen. So I got it here. If you want to read that one, Eddie.
Yeah, I can. I will. Yeah. Monica. So Monica says, with everyone talking about affordable housing, we actually have affordable housing on Maloney Avenue. You have trailers that people are living in, paying $1,000 a month for a 3-bedroom trailer on Maloney Avenue. Now where I live, they're picking on the trailers with the additions. The trailer I live in the addition, has been on it for over 30 years. It should be grandfathered in because the addition has been on it before all the county regulations. The trailer has been where it sits since the 50s, one of the oldest ones, period. I pay $1,000 for a 3-bedroom. That is affordable. It's a single family. Paying $3,000 to $4,500 a month isn't affordable, and I agree. I paid $3,000 a month on Patterson Avenue. That isn't affordable. Now the county is messing with the only affordable housing there is in Stock Island.
Well, let me say this before the commissioner comment on that. I know the commissioner, I can't speak for him right now, but I don't think he'll have a problem, Monica, going out there because he's a person that'd like to see what's happening and going on site, getting the information. I don't know what the answer going to be, but I guarantee you he's going to have one. So what do you think, Eddie? And are you okay?
Well, I can tell you what, I can promise you that I'll be there tomorrow, whether she's there or not. I'll be going by.
Monica, I'm going to give you the commissioner phone number if that's okay.
Absolutely.
You call him directly, and basically you could walk him around there and see what's happening because this is his area. And I'll be honest with you, I think the county's doing the best they can, but we got to find out why that's happening because, like I said, in order to get to the meats and potatoes, you got to have the facts. And if that is the case there, we're going to try to see what we could do because, see, if we had this, with that number, we'll be in good business. Then that's affordable. Absolutely. 3-bedroom, 1,000.
Absolutely.
Is really, that's affordable.
That is affordable. Mike, can you see if my wife's outside? Because I think she just got
okay.
Just got checked.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave the princess out there. So, and like I said, I will definitely be going by tomorrow, Monica.
I'll give you your number so she can call.
Yeah,
Thank you, Monica, for that comment. And like I said, I'm really now going to. God works in mysterious ways. So I didn't know Eddie before this too much. I heard of Eddie, he heard of me, and this brought us together. And I really like to work for the people. I actually like to. My exercise is walking on Duval Street and basically seeing what's going on and having sidebars with people. Hey, this is what's going on, because it's okay to be in the office. You must get out on the streets.
Yeah,
you really
you
want
have
to find
to.
out
You
what's
have to
going
get
on.
out.
So hit the share button right over here. Boop, boop. Notifications right over here. Boop. And please follow me on YouTube on the Louie C. Rock. And there's a button right over here. Boop. Hit the subscribe button. Who is Michael Knowles?
Okay, Monica says just call.
Yeah.
And Red Tater says you go, Commish. And let's see who we got here. We got Pamela Hershey.
Pamela, what's the temperature?
We got Jim Lamberson.
Okay.
We got Danny A. Valdez.
Thank you.
JCQS, and she says hi.
Okay.
And Monica Herrera Marquise.
Okay. All love right now. Thank you, Florida Keys Injury Lawyers. Access Lawyers in the Keys. Go to FloridaKeysInjury.com at 302 Southern Street. Locals taking care of locals. After any accident, just stay local. And after 911, FloridaKeysInjury.com. Dr. B on the program Friday. Got a special guest from LA, Patty Gelano coming in, and we're going to talk about some serious stuff. We're going back to Cali. That's going to be the title of the show. And shout out to all the first responders at Key West Marathon, Key Largo at Advanced Urgent Care with the 2Ks now, keyscares.com, $89. One word, ivermectin. If you have a doctor who's playing around, waiting for research or waiting for paper, while somebody died, you have to get a second opinion. Doc says, there's people that go to court and make you give them the ivermectin. I told Doc we ain't got time for that. We just got to go to a place that will give the ivermectin right away. And also Naughty Vapes, the #1 vape shop in America, right across the street from the fire department. They are definitely taking care of people who want to quit smoking, 10% local and military discount. Make sure you like them under Naughty Vapes, Nauti Vapes. And also Super Bowl time, Tampa Bay in the building, Kansas City in the building. So the new sports bar coming on Duval Street, Mojo Sports Bar and Bistro. If you like that page, it'll be greatly appreciated. And do we have everybody covered on your side?
Yeah.
Mike Knowles?
I don't know. It's Steve Plummer. I met Steve Plummer. He said, hopefully this will pass soon. So that's good. It's about
Okay. All right. So bottom line, you see right out here? I voted. Yeah, I voted. I still keep my sticker out here. I keep multiple stickers here. We're going to keep voting. Two things will happen, I'll guarantee you. One, you will listen to the people, or sooner or later, sometimes it'll take later than this sooner. If you don't listen to the people, we definitely, the people, for the people, by the people, going to get you out of there, and we're going to put somebody that listens. So Commissioner Eddie Martinez ain't playing with nothing, and he ain't scared to hurt feelings for the people. No. So Commissioner, any closing words for the people of your district and everybody watching?
Well, I'm out on them streets, and you guys can call me direct. Like I said, I will be going to see Monica's issue tomorrow. I work the entire county. You guys, I work for you. Give me a call. My cell phone, 786-325-4668. Don't be afraid to call it.
And I'm going to tell you this thing where I have a very big problem with this. Now, I understand that some of y'all might not agree with certain people. But realize that this job that this man has, they don't pay a lot of money, number one. Number two, the agitation that you receive is critical. Number three, you lose time away from your family and loved ones. And if you have a problem, then basically maybe you should sign up for something. But all this little extracurricular stuff and hating and all that, we're going to kill hate with love. Be part of the solution. That's all I ask. I'm not saying agree with everything, but be part of the solution or be part of the problem. Because if you spending hours on negativity on Facebook, you're not focused. Louie C. the mayor, backed up by Michael Knowles, and the People's Commissioner, Eddie Martinez, doing it big, straight for the county in Duval Street. Ha!